Hello everybody, my name is Lil Train and welcome back to Tips with Train on Conan Exiles. And I just want to say first of all, Merry Christmas to everyone. A very good time opening gifts, spending time with the family, drinking hot cocoa. Actually, scratch that last part, I hate hot cocoa, believe it or not. But anyways, I understand that I am very late to be discussing something like this regarding Thralls and whatnot because update has been out for a pretty good bit now. And Thralls have probably been covered by a lot of the big YouTubers in the game. I just wanted to post this video just to give like my feedback or opinion, basically. We're not really going to be going over stats. I mean, we'll go over stats and stuff like that, and well, I mean, I'll give an opinion on like what I think is a really good thrall to get, but mainly what I want to go over is this build that I'm going to be showing you guys. So we'll start off with the build first, just to get this out of the way. This is basically the build that I decided to try. I decided to give Thralls a try, and it actually went really well. Like, leveling up with them is a really fast way to like just the fact that you could have two Thralls at the same time and you can level up two of them at once was actually very cool to me. So I decided to give it a go with the Unnamed City. I went to different dungeons. I even took the time to test it on my friend in a private server, and surprisingly, it seems actually kind of cheesy. I'm not gonna lie. You may be sacrificing a handful of strength, but at the same time, like, you have two Thralls with you, and I'll explain a little more on that, other than the fact you just get two Thralls. So the way I have my agility set is for dead shot, right here, for the second one, and then I just put 15 points into it, basically. And the reason why I have it in dead shot, some of you guys probably know, I use throwing axes, and like, throwing axes plus the Thralls is like, it's a very disgusting thing. It seems kind of petty to some people, but at the same time, like, for those of you who play this game solo and are interested in Thralls, I probably should have mentioned this from the get-go. This video is for you, basically. So then we have Vitality. I like to put it on Fast Healer, because that seems like the most logic way to go for solo players. And then I'd put it on Last Stand. It depends if you're a very passive or you're a very aggressive player in Conan. If you're passive and you don't really engage in too much PvP, then you can go for Glutton for Punishment. If you find yourself not being in a lot of conflict with players, stuff like that, you can go for Glutton for Punishment. But if you're someone like me who likes to mess with people, get into a lot of trouble, especially with big clans where you'll get outnumbered and you'll get jumped on the battlefield, Last Stand is probably going to be the best option for you. But keep in mind, you are going to have two Thralls with you, or a very powerful Thrall, just to be safe. So next up for Authority, we have Healthy Diet for the second perk for Authority. I put 20 points into Authority because if we're going to sacrifice all of our strength, then we might as well put it all into Authority and max that out if we're going to sacrifice our strength, basically. And you put Healthy Diet into the second perk. I decided to use Healthy Diet. I've been testing it for a bit, and I actually like it a lot more, especially because since I sacrifice a lot of my strength, Commanding Presence doesn't seem all that worth to me. Then again, I still have a decent amount of agility damage, but at the same time, I'm sacrificing quite a bit of damage in general because I don't have max agility, I have zero strength, so that's really it. And then for the last perk, obviously I decided to go with War Party. For some Thralls, I will say, some Thralls are better off with the well-trained attribute, not the War Party. Certain Thralls are good for certain attributes. I'll cover that in a bit. And then you can do this if you guys want or if you don't want to. I decided to put 5 grit in, or 5 points into my grit just to have extra grit because I'm not going to have the strength. I'm going to have less agility. I want to be able to move around basically because if I'm being honest, as petty as this may sound, the Authority build is dedicated to your Thralls. This is when your Thralls come in handy. So you don't have to be as aggressive. You don't have to exert as much stamina. But at the same time, you want to have all that stamina on you because if you come across a large group of people or a clan or something like that, stamina is going to be pretty beneficial for you, especially since you're not going to be able to fight back because you have no strength and you don't have max agility. You just have your Thralls to help you out. So going over this first one, this is not a good start. I decided to do Beast Tamer Verret. This is obviously a purge fighter that you can get from Sumerian purges basically. And I mean, I didn't do any rebirth or potions or anything like that, and he actually looks pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. He doesn't look too bad with 6,453 HP. Then again, what are the chances of you getting a Purge Thrall from the Purge? And next up, we have obviously our Kisses Flesh Tear. I will say, I used to love Kisses Flesh Tear or like any Volcano Thrall in the past. And the only reason I liked them is because they are the only Thralls that would do the heavy two-handed sword attack. Like they'll go all heavy. Compared to like Berserkers and Relic Hunters who only do light, they don't really do as many heavy attacks. Kisses Flesh Tearers will just do a straight up heavy attack. Heavy, 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 heavy. A full heavy combo. However, considering they take like just as much to level up as the Volcano, or not the Volcano, the Berserkers and Relic Hunters, yet they still didn't even manage to break 4,000. This is actually a really good example, actually. They didn't even manage to break 4,000 HP, even though they had all Vitality stats. It has 14 plus Vitality, and they still didn't manage to get over 4,000. So that's, I mean, Volcano Thrall is, it's not the greatest thing to get, but if you guys still want to get them for that two-handed sword combo and you love putting two-handed swords in your Thralls, well, these are the guys that you want to give them to, basically. But I do think their damage multiplier is a little bit lower than Berserkers. And Berserkers and Relic Hunters have the highest damage multiplier, and Delancey Snowhunter, but she's in the same category as Berserkers. Then we have our Relic Hunters. This is actually a pretty good Thrall that a lot of people actually seem to sleep on. I'm not gonna lie. I'll talk about these guys, and a lot of people will say that their damage sucks. I will say this. Relic Hunter Treasure Seekers and Berserkers, believe it or not, they actually have the same exact damage multiplier. Now, understanding that, well, it doesn't say right now, but Relic Hunters typically start off with 0 points in their strength, compared to like Sumerians, like Beast Tamer Verret, that start off with a bunch of strength in their attributes. But if you guys notice this, notice how there's only 28 points. 28 points of strength. It doesn't matter what points you have. It doesn't matter how many points you have. It matters that percentage damage bonus, not the attributes. You can have all the attributes you have, but if it has no effect on your percentage, it's not worth it. That's why I feel like Relic Hunter Treasure Seekers are really just slept on. I mean, look at this. They have 5,841 HP. They're way more tanky compared to your Sumerian Berserker. Like they almost get as much as a Purge, basically. So, if you look at the stats, notice how it has 28 points in strength, and it has 23%. And then look at this. 30 points in strength, but only 12%. So this Thrall hits harder than a Berserker. Not to mention, it's a lot more tanky than your average Berserker that a lot of people tend to use. And then looking over here at I kind of skipped the Berserker. Berserkers, in my opinion, are a very good Thrall for like beginning, or when you're starting off on a server. They're a very good companion when you're first starting out because they already have a decent weapon on them, and they hit hard. They're kind of easy to get. I'll make sure to show you guys how you guys can knock out Thralls easily as well. This is like a whole cover-up on Thralls, basically. I'm surprised I never even considered doing this, really. And then, for the most part, yeah, it's like a good way to start off on the server, but definitely not something I would want to use long-term wise. I would much prefer, and I highly recommend, Relic Hunter Treasure Seekers. Not to mention, a whole bunch of them spawn in the unnamed city, and you can find a bunch of them. And then over here we have our buddy Leon. Leon he's okay. Like I said, he has 53 points in strength. He has a bunch of points in strength, yet only 26% compared to Relic Hunter that has half of the amount of points that Leon has, yet still almost has more percent strength increase. So, but I will say, with Leon's, if you get lucky with Vitality, I mean, I didn't really do too much testing with Leon's, but I don't think Leon's really have that spark anymore as a good Thrall, unless you decide to do this. So if I change my authority, because this is what I wanted to talk about next, doesn't really matter what I choose. So if you have certain thralls like a Leon, they are probably better off with the well-trained perks. Certain thralls are better with certain perks. So like relic hunters, you're better off just using war party because you get to have 2 of these monsters. And berserkers, you could do either or. You could have them either as a well-trained thrall, or you could have them as a war party. And then as for like these guys, I strongly recommend war party for volcano guys. It doesn't matter if you're limited on options and you only happen to have like one of these guys or something like that, or a couple of these guys and nothing else, or it's just volcano thralls you have. You can do the well-trained. That's like, I'm not making the choices for you guys. I'm just giving off my opinions. So you can see how Leon gets 5,000 HP at 59 points in vitality. He has gotten more than that before. I have seen that he's gotten more. So like I said, Leon, not too bad. It's not a bad thrall to get. Definitely a thrall that I recommend using well-trained on. And then looking at our berserker rate here, 4,655. Again, for these guys, it's not bad to use well-trained or war party on them. They seem pretty average. She seems like a pretty good thrall. And then relic hunter, look at this, 7,282 HP. And look at the strength increase. You see how ridiculous this is. And then like if I put on this armor, like this is not even armor crafted by a level 4 armor, 54% strength increase, and they are extremely tanky. This is basically like the next Tamos, basically, only much harder. Just like, wait, their damage multiplier was always better than Tamos, and like they're tanky as well. And then like if I do the same thing like with this Thrall over here, give her some strength armor. Oh, excuse me. Only 26%. You guys see like the difference? This is why I highly recommend relic hunter treasure seekers, because there's a lot of them in one area. They may take time to level up. I always go to like level 15 and then I stop. But with relic hunters, I mean, I might as well go for 20 because it seems pretty worth it to me. And that basically covers the different types of thralls that you could get. I highly recommend relic hunter treasure seekers. And then I have a couple clips of me using these thralls on my buddy Sniper. We spent a little bit of time on a private server testing them out to see how good they could be, and just using, like I said, my style using throwing axes, it's a pretty good combo. You guys, you got to remember, you're very limited on your strength, and your you don't have as much agility. You don't have a max agility. You have authority, and that's when your thralls come in. And with throwing axes and the short sword, if I could show you guys right here, you can do a front dash with it. And this is a short sword that was crafted without a bladesmith. This is just like a random short sword. Oh wait, this is not even a... I'm sorry guys, I thought this was a star metal. My fault. Anyway, that's not the point though. It's a short sword with throwing axes. You can use throwing axes and then do a dash with it. So if you stun someone, you could just follow up. It's a pretty cheesy way of playing, but I recently discovered the short sword with throwing axes, and then on top of having 2 thralls, you can imagine how much of a pain in the ass it's going to be for anyone on the receiving end. So now I'm going to be showing you guys how you can knock out thralls easily. I should probably heal up first, actually. Ah, screw it. So he'll go in for a swing. He'll miss. Hold up. Let's try that again. So anyways, you come over here, find Berserker. Come swing. He missed. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then he'll swing. Right after that second hit, second combo, he's gonna swing. So let me show you another trick. 1, 2, 3. That's the first combo. 1, 2, 3. And sneak 1 hit. You could sneak 1 hit in there. So this is like a really good thing to knock out berserkers. 1, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then he'll miss. That's the best way to knock out thralls. And another way you can learn how to avert getting hit by the Thralls, because some people try and dodge them, and like, depending on what type of attack the Berserker uses, it can still hit you. So if you try and walk it away, you can still get tagged. So a little trick I have to bait Thralls, I usually go in, and then I sprint like right when I go near them. I mean, again, it's kind of logical to do that. And then you get a free combo in. Make sure to dodge. If they do that, you can just go right back in, because whenever an NPC does that down swipe, it's like a free hit when they miss. Go back in again. And just like that, it's really that simple to knock out Thralls. Depending on certain Thralls, like the Volcano Thralls that use spears, it's a bit of a pain in the ass, I'll admit. But for the most part, it should be really easy to knock out Thralls. So anyways, guys, I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. Again, I understand that it was very late and kind of odd for me to post a video like this talking about Thralls, something that is spoken about amongst a lot of players in this game. But I just wanted to post this video just to give out my feedback and my opinion on Thralls. And if you guys do have any more questions about Thralls, feel free to ask me. I'll gladly answer them for you guys in the comments below. And with that being said, that was basically the end of Tips with Train number 2 with Thralls. I hope you guys all enjoyed. I hope you guys had a fantastic Christmas, and I hope to see you guys all in the next video. Until then, peace out.